Okay, so my name is Megan. I am originally from Philadelphia area, Pennsylvania. I went to Penn State University and majored in international development and came to Panama 3 years ago as a Peace Corps volunteer and absolutely fell in love with Panama. Served here for almost 2 years in a little town near Boquete and did different projects in English education, environmental education, leadership skills, and a lot of different fun projects here. And then met Oscar and met Rod, ended up staying on, and now I'm director of operations with Retire in Panama Tours. And I love doing the tours and connecting with new expats and sharing my experience, learning so much about the Panamanian culture during my time living with host families here. And yeah, sharing that on the tour with you guys. Rod, you're up.
You're up.
Oh, it's Mike. My name's Rod Larrabee. I'm originally from Saskatchewan. Go Riders Go. I moved to Vancouver when I was 30. And when I was 45, I decided to make a big change in my life and I chose Panama. So I ended up here in 2011. And I had my own business. I'm an online marketer, so I worked online. And you guys laughing at me or what, Oscar?
No, Oscar's just being distracting.
Yeah, yes, yeah. And within a few months of being here, I met Oscar, and we became good friends. At that time, he was in tourism already, and I started helping him online with some of the stuff he was working on. And within a couple of years, we started a small little local tourist company together. But what we both always wanted to do is what we're doing now, helping expats move here and solving all the problems. So we started this company, Retire in Panama, which is we offer tours across the country to show you if you like Panama or want Panama. And we also run Panama Expat Service, which is a more a la carte type service for people that are already here or don't want to go on a tour and just want to come and need help doing stuff. So we've been doing this now for several years. COVID got kind of right in the middle of our peak of our business, but that never let us, that never stopped us. We carried on and we're ready to get back in business. We did 3 tours at the end of 2020, all very successful. We do small groups, 7 to 12 people, so very intimate small groups. And that is me and kind of what we do. Oscar.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you all of you to be here. And second of all, Happy New Year. I hope this 2021 is going to be awesome to all of you. My name is Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I moved to Panama in August 2009. Prior to Panama, I was living in Costa Rica for 3 years and a half, starting in 2006. Before that, I was in Colombia working in a mechanic garage and studying hotel and tourism management. When I moved to Costa Rica, my English was just a verb to be, and I am self-taught English speaker. I work in the tourism industry, I work in the hotel industry, in the restaurant industry. So I have a very good knowledge about what it is about customer service and hospitality. All that experience allowed me to start starting a new business or a new dream about Mucho Gusto Panama. This is how I started to do expat services and private relocation services. Then through the years, I got into a tourism industry, more like a tour operator, which gave me a lot of more experience and knowledge about how to do logistics, how to do manage groups, and also safety. I'm a former volunteer, the Civil Defense of Panama, and that all that experience just have allowed me to do the job I do today, which means make sure all of you are safe with me. Second of all, to have the best time ever. Third, to know all about Panama, the culture, and the in and outs of this beautiful country. And we just in Latin America, I can connect easier with the culture here, with the people here. So I consider myself the bridge between the two cultures. And also I have a nickname. I'm a Mama Goose. So I am Mama Goose for all of you guys that come in the tour. That means I'm gonna be your bodyguard. I'm gonna be your jack for all the trades. Wherever you guys need, I am there. You just say Oscar Jim. I'm just gonna say how high, basically. And I'm very grateful for every single one of you. They had the time to spend in this Q&A, and also the one of you that have been in our tour. And yes, I just love the dynamic, how in small groups we have done. I believe in customized and personalized service. That's what I studied. That's what I have learned, and this is my passion. So I'm very happy every single day to share with every single of you.
So Oscar, you're the tour operator?
I used to be, yes, I used to have a tour operator, yeah. But I'm not a tour operator.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're not the owner of the Retire in Panama?
I am one of the owners, but we're not tour operators.
It's different than Oscar was doing before, more local adventure.
Yeah, look
outdoor
adventures.
tours.
Like let's say like a coffee tour, a hike, or like going to see the biggest waterfall of Panama, or going to, I don't know, hunt snakes, stuff like that. More adventures, more extreme.
Yeah.
It was
I'm not sure if we got now, but we are relocation experts. When you come here, it's not a vacation. So for the lack of a better word for our name, Retire in Panama Relocation Experts was just too long.com, you know?
Yeah,
So we used the word tour, but
which it is.
Oscar
But
and I are co-owners of the company. And we are the relocation expert. Oscar and Megan, you're with them exclusively the first 5 days of the tour and possibly a second driver. And then I join you guys on the 5th, 6th, 7th day here in Cherokee. So you'll get to talk with all of us. We all have different expertises and stuff like that. So that's why with the three of us, it's a really good mix. I will go into one thing, Oscar and Megan, hope you don't mind. I get like daily phone calls, and I already see a few questions about everyone's scared that Panama's going to shut down again. The only reason you are is because you're looking at Facebook and reading the media and sharing rumors. Panama's not going to get shut down again. We have some restrictions in place now. There may be some restrictions on the last 3 tours that we did. There were some restrictions in place, but certainly it doesn't stop us from doing our job and showing you the country and showing you whether or not this is the place that you want to move. I can tell you for sure, based on the numbers and the stats, it's safer to be here than many other countries in the world, including the U.S. and probably Canada right now too, because I watch Canada very closely, being my hometown. You'll be really impressed here. Everywhere you go, your temperature's taken, your hands are sanitized. Even on the tour, we sanitize the vehicles. We have a maximum number of people in a vehicle. If we have too many, we bring a second vehicle along, just so everyone can spread out. We try to eat most of our meals in outdoor restaurants. We don't put you into any crowds. We take your temperature. Mama Goose is going to take your temperature every morning, and we have contingency plans if there's something, but it's just doesn't happen. You are going across the country with a van full of people that have all tested negative from COVID, and we're keeping you away from the crowds. So it is like it has to be your comfort level, not ours. If you're coming to one of our tours for the near future and you're not comfortable, then you need to reach out to us. You guys know our phone number. One of us is always going to answer that phone or phone you back shortly, and we'll work through it. So if you're not comfortable in your hometown, in your home country, if you're not comfortable going outside or going shopping and stuff like that, it might not be time for you to take a tour. But if you practice safety protocols, mask wearing, cleaning your hands, social distancing, and stay away from the crowds, if you're doing that already at home, you can certainly do that here. It's probably safer doing it.
What we do here is just when you make it, when anybody has to make the decision, is gonna make it But and no matter what, it's about precautions, which we'll take in precautions. But yes, it's totally valid. Uh, a lot of people have different reasons why not to travel, and that's 100% respectable. But we're not here to push you to buy any tour to sign up. We're gonna talk tonight about what's going on in Panama. We're gonna talk about what's going on here and what we're moving forward. And then for some of you, they because we already have things going on, but we're gonna spend the last hour, hopefully, respond some questions about what's going on here. But I totally respect that. And yes, if you can get the chance to get the vaccinations, get it those. And yeah, meantime, everyone take the precautions, respect the situation and avoid big crowds. That's my personal opinion too, as
Yeah,
we do here in Panama.
exactly. Like, we're not here to tell you to, like, we're not gonna tell you come now or go, whether you're taking a tour or whether you're coming just to check it out. There's many people on this call are not taking our tour. This call is not about selling our tour. This call is to answer your questions, which we're gonna start any second now for the next hour about anything you want to ask about Panama. So that being said, Megan, should we start questions?
First
Yeah.
question.
Or if we want to, if anyone wants to ask a question that's unmuted right now, we have about 100 people on here right now. So.
Maybe while we're on it, we might as well clear up what's exactly going on in Panama right now. People have a lot of questions about what is going on with the restrictions. How are the numbers looking?
Yeah. Panama did something that no other country really did. When you look across the world, they took Christmas away from us and New Year's and next weekend, which is All Saints Day. Now, if you look at the Latin American culture, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the day after Christmas, there's 50 people in your house. That's how big the gatherings are here. The families are very tight. They are very close. Like, the Panamanians are all about family, all about friends. They get together and they party throughout the entire holiday. Well, the government put us in a 3-day lockdown from Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. until the following Monday morning, and New Year's Eve at 7 p.m. for the following Monday morning. We're not going to see a spike after the holidays. I think they saw other countries, what happened in Canada, October's Thanksgiving, and then the spike in November. The U.S. Thanksgiving in November, and then the following spike. And so we're not going to see that spike because they did that. And then in some of the heavier areas that were getting tight for hospital beds and stuff, they put them, Panama Province and Panama West, they put them in a 10-day quarantine type situation. Right now, if you're coming to Panama right now, unless you're going before the 14th, unless you're flying, you're going to a resort, is really, you can't move around. It's too tight. Unless you're coming to Cherokee or something, then it's not a problem. So a lot of people canceled their trips here over Christmas and between the 1st and the 14th. But after the 14th, we go back to some normality here, where we'll probably still have a nighttime curfew, whether it's 9 or 11, I don't know. But that just controls the party situation in Panama. But other than that, we are, if everything goes back to normal on the 14th, it's just like our October, November, and December tours. They all worked out perfectly. We have free motion across the country. And like I say, we're not throwing you into crowded shopping malls and stuff like that. So, yeah. Did I miss anything on the current situation, Oscar? Maybe?
No, that's pretty accurate. It has been a little bit of the tough call for some of us, especially as a Latin American. Christmas is, especially Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. As a Latino, I'll say, take everything away, but now let me party that day or celebrate that day. That's like a huge bad thing for us. But all the country did behave. There was some of the scenarios, but that's why the government decided to take a strict measurements during the holidays in Panama and Panama West. It did hurt a lot of people, but I've seen on the news and the tasks and the graphics, and it's already the spike went up and it's already went down. So that, in my opinion, that was a good call. And sometimes, you know, there had to be some sacrifices in some way. We took a little bit of the comfort zone during the holidays. I was fine, and you know, just small gatherings. But I think that was pretty accurate what government decided to do during these holidays, and that's why I think we have a clear path now after the 14th. Yep,
Yeah.
especially the vaccinations are going to be here also in the next week or two tops.
Yeah, they're doing a similar thing to the US. Healthcare worker areas and all that are starting in January. And then phase two, we don't have all the dates yet, but phase two is people 60 and older. And phase three is the people that live in that Marca? I can never say.
Marca, yeah. So
Yeah.
they basically are taking care of, first of all, the people in high danger. So anybody has like a hypertension, diabetes, heart issues, anybody that can be a high risk, they're taking care of those first. And then of course the comarcas, where it's all the indigenous reservoirs, they're gonna take care of them too. Then the groups like the 40s or the 30s, if they have some medical condition, they're gonna go first.
And then they got phase four.
When it's not chess.
Already registered for it. Yeah, so in phase four, it's people over between 50 and 60.
So buenas noches. Hi there.
Noches.
Hi. Yes.
¿Cómo está, Jonathan?
I'm wondering, are there any restrictions from certain countries, such
So
as
far,
Kingdom, South Africa? I've read something about that. Possibly.
Yes. Hey, Jonathan.
yeah, I think there is some restrictions right now from South Africa and UK right now as it is, but that might change. That might change very soon
I
because
do have a February tour.
yes, sir.
The actual February tour.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's the name. And the government today was mentioned that it might be until the actual mid-February that the restrictions are stopped here. From how it stands, it's actually illegal to fly out.
Wow.
So on our side, it's illegal, and it looks like on your side that you're not actually allowing UK and South Africans in.
Wow. Yeah, it's very tough. Where are you right now, Jonathan?
So I'm in the UK.
Okay. Cool.
And yes, just
yeah.
like you as well, we had Christmas and New Year's that was actually off the records. That was, it was banned.
Yeah. And you got a lockdown in UK right now, my understanding,
Yes.
right?
But it's probably not as strict as your lockdown. A lot of people do not wear masks.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know things are gonna change for better. Meantime, what we can do individually is our part to just take the precautions and do the best, but keep the best vibes, eat it healthy, take we do a cocktail, vitamin D3, zinc, 1,000 milligrams and vitamin C that really boosts your immune system, and avoiding big crowds and always wear your mask. And that's the best thing you can do individually until everything is cleared up.
I have been actually.
Yes, sir.
That we've been living by since March.
Yeah.
But sadly, at the moment, individually, it doesn't look like I can take on the airways.
Yeah.
As in the government and the airlines.
Yeah.
But I will speak to you guys tomorrow about that.
Yeah, Jonathan, why don't you give me a call?
An email. And you've also sent me an email as well, Megan, today.
Please do.
Jonathan, why don't you give me a call tomorrow morning here? We talked.
Yeah.
And then we'll work out your situation.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
it's midnight over here, by the way, now. So yeah.
Yeah. I said, but when you call me in the morning, I don't mean 8 a.m. your time. I mean your afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll make it happen, Jonathan. We'll guide you here.
Okay.
Okay.
The Panama Q&A, guys.
Yeah, let's get into some questions.
Anyone want to jump in with a question as Megan starts going through the chat?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
My name is Scott, and I am planning on moving in about 18 months to 2 years. So I
Okay.
am in the process of preparing my moving package, and I'm not quite sure what I need to bring, what I should leave behind in case I'm not happy, which I don't expect. I should I, if I rent a place, will I be able to find a place that has furniture, furnishings, and kitchen stuff, or should I be planning on bringing kitchen stuff? By the way, I used to be a chef, so kitchen stuff
Oh,
is kind of important.
yes, sir.
I
Megan is the one actually can respond to that one.
Yeah, well, we definitely recommend you come do a visit, do a little trial down here to make sure you like it first before you go selling all of your belongings and spending a lot of money to move all of your stuff down here. But you definitely can find rentals that are fully furnished with, the kitchen fully stocked and sheets on the bed, and it has everything you need, at least for your first trial visit. If you're a chef, you're probably going to want to end up shipping down all of your favorite kitchen stuff.
All your toys.
Yeah, I mean, you can find stuff down here, but if you've got your favorite,
Yeah. Like you said, some knives or stuff like that.
I do have some special things I want to bring, but I have a friend who lived in Panama for 15 years. His wife was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
and his immediate response was to move to Panama. He's a world traveler, and he knew that Panama was a good place to be for medical assistance.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Costa Rica, and he said that I would be much happier in Panama, near Boquete, Ning.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of research since, and that all makes sense to me. What should I plan for my first trip to Panama? I'm living on a fixed income, so I'm not going to be able to take a tour. Sorry, I would love to, but unless
That's
I win
okay,
the
that's
lottery,
okay.
a tour doesn't seem likely.
Yeah.
But I would like to know, how do I go about finding a place to live while I'm living in the United States? Who do I contact, and where do I look so that I can find some place that will provide me with, decent living
if you
place?
know you're set on Boquete, send us an email. I'll write our email in the chat here, and we can connect you with some rentals people who manage rentals here in Boquete, and they can show you some options.
However, before you start doing the process, I will say depends of the season. Let's say you want to come to Boquete January, February. That means it's a high season here in Panama, which that means availability is very short. If that's the month you want to come and visit here, I would highly suggest to start the research for rentals. Let's say if you do in January, start looking in August, September at the latest. Because if a lot of people book in advance for 4 months or even 5 months or more in advance. Panama, the highest season, and that's good. This is good for you to keep in mind. The highest season, the busiest, will be from January all the way through end of March. So those 3 months are very hard to find sometimes rentals.
I live in Sarasota, Florida.
Yes, sir.
I have lived in Sarasota, Florida for most of my life.
Okay.
And so I have seen all the beaches I ever need to see.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I am Caucasian.
Yeah.
I am Norwegian and Swedish. So I am very white, and I don't go outside without hats and
I know.
all that stuff. So I'm more interested in being in a place that is
more cooler.
A little cooler,
Yeah.
a little more I understand Boqueting is not that close to the beach, that it's closer, that it's more up, more elevated, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
so-
only, I mean, the beautiful thing about Boquete or other locations in Panama is that diversity in the is very agile. The whole country is very agile. The way how you can move around. You can go from sea level to a place you need to get a jacket in less than 2 hours.
I
So
don't
it's
want
very,
that. I want
but
to leave
you know,
my jackets at home.
you get in between, which is Boquete is one of those is in between. So, but again, even Boquete is very busy during those months. So that's why my suggestion, if you're planning to come to visit Boquete or other area that is very popular in Panama, could be even Valle Anton or could be maybe Volcan. It's better to look into that no longer than 4 months or 5 months, about like that, to start looking for options.
Like I said to start, it will be a few extra, it's gonna be a few months, it's gonna be at least a year, maybe a
Yes,
year and a
sir.
half. But
Scott?
how about a room, renting a room in a household?
That's an option. The benefit of going through a rentals person through a real estate company here is that they're going to be able to vet the places for you and really make sure it's what you're looking for. Some people find stuff on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, but if you're not here, you're not going to know exactly what you're getting. But send us an email and we can connect you with some people. We're just going to
Okay.
move on to some other questions for the sake of getting to everything in this 1 hour call we have.
Hey,
What is
before
your
we leave-
email? I don't see it.
I did just send it. Let me send it again to the chat. It's info@retireinpanamatours.com.
Hey, Scott.
I got it.
Jay,
Thank you
here.
very
Can I make
much.
a couple of suggestions for
problem.
you? Scott,
Yes,
are you there?
please. I'm here.
So, two things. Number one, you said you had a buddy who's living in Panama, right?
No, he and his late wife lived in Panama because of the medical services there.
Is he still there?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then forget that. My second thing is, you would be well served by looking at a number of maps of Panama that are easily available on the internet, even Google Maps with a satellite view and street view. With satellite view, you can see where it's in the mountains and so forth. And so, you can kind of take a tour of Panama via the map, but do a Google search on Panama maps and you're going to find a whole lot of resources that will give you a lot of great details.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and,
Thank you.
And don't forget, Scott, we do these calls every month. You're not coming here for a year and a half. Continue to join us.
I
And-
know. This is the first chance I've had to join you because of my personal situation.
But all the
Okay.
replays, are posted on our
We
website.
will continue to respond to your questions.
Yeah.
And let's give it the other guest the opportunity to exactly.
And I'm being called away. So thank you all so much.
Alrighty.
Have a great evening. Happy New Year.
You too,
Where do
buddy.
you want our questions?
We've got a question from Sharon here who says, can you get a driver's license in David? And is there anyone that can assist with that?
Possibly.
Oscar?
Yes, you can get your drive license in David. Yes, you can get assistance on that. Either will be myself ourselves personally, or we can run the logistics with you according to the availability, the date, month, but it is possible. All of those are possible.
Hello.
Hello.
Paul.
I wanted to, my name's Paul. I'm wondering what the costs or average cost is to get a Visa Pensionata.
Okay, Paul, I can run that. You're looking about, for you and your wife, all in. I'm talking every stamp, every courier you have to use, everything under $3,000.
Okay, and that's with attorneys?
Yes,
Okay.
As occurring of this year, by the way.
yeah, don't forget, when you get there, going close, one attorney is gonna say, oh, I charge 1,500. But then at the end, they say, oh, you have to pay for this, you gotta pay this government fee, you gotta, all in, you're looking at around 2,800 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That answered it.
Okay.
Hola.
Yes, Jonathan.
So related to the same question, when it comes to not pensionados in my case, but I have children, so they're
Okay.
age of 18. How
Okay.
is it with them when it comes to residency?
Wait. Do you have children that are 18?
Under 18.
Under 18. Oh, I was like, wow, you look too young.
So when you come here, are you looking at a Friendly Nations visa?
Yep.
Yep.
And how big's the family altogether? Is it you, your spouse, how many kids?
2 kids.
Okay, so
One is going to be 15 this year.
every dependent, that's someone under 18 or someone under 21 if they're in school, is an additional $500. So your Friendly Nations visa is about $5,500. That's again an all-in price. So add $1,500 for the wife and the 2 kids, and then you got to make
Yes.
a deposit into a banking account of $5,000 plus $2,000 for each dependent.
So did you say add 1,500 for wife and 2 children?
Yeah.
So my wife and myself wouldn't be double.
No, no, they only charge an additional $500 they call it a dependent. Either one can apply, either spouse,
Yes.
dependent an additional $500. It's the same thing for the pensionable. It actually costs around 23 for a single, but it's 28 for a couple.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
And then for sure, you need to personally talk with the lawyer about everything that's going to happen with your kids when they reach the age of the majority in Panama to ensure their path forward in Panama as possible. So there's some things you got to do there too.
So can you just repeat that last bit?
Once you get connected with the attorney with the visa, because your kids will get their temporary, it's like a temporary visa until they're 18 years old. And there's something that the form they have to fill in at that time, an application process to get their schedules and stuff like that. Like if they're going to stay in Panama.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
While we're on the residency questions, we had a similar question from Deborah in Canada as to what types of residencies or citizenships there are in Panama. So Rod, do you want to quick go over the difference between pensionado and friendly nations?
First of all, we'll talk about residency. Residency and citizenship are 2 totally different things. Once you have your permanent residency for one of the visas in Panama for more than 5 years, you can apply for a Panamanian passport, which is citizenship. But we'll talk about residency. There's like 3 major ones. The pensionado visa, if you're receiving a pension of $1,000 or more, $1,250 for a couple, you can get the pensionado visa. It's really easy to do. It's the simplest visa in the world. And I'm not exaggerating that. Friendly Nations visa, you're looking at between like $5,500 to $6,000 for a couple, and that's of 50 nations that are friendly to Panama. Just if you need a list, yes, Canada's one of them. I came on the Friendly Nations visa. It allows you to get a work visa. That's the one benefit it has. The pensionado does not. If you have a pensionado, you can never work in Panama. So the Friendly Nations, so for someone, I came here when I was 46, so I wasn't receiving a pension, but I wanted to work. So that was the visa for me. Then you have there's actually 23 or 25 visas in Panama. There's the person of means visa. There's the new, Mike, what's the new visa called when you purchase a home?
Red carpet.
I don't know why my mind just went blank. I just lost Mike. Oh, there you are, Mike.
A visa?
It's called a red.
So it's a special investment visa. Currently, you'd have to spend $300,000 to qualify, but that's going to go away in 2 years, and it's going to go up to $500,000.
So if I came here and I said, hey, I want to buy that condo, it's $300,000. So I basically get a visa with the purchase of the condo?
Yeah, in fact, it's pretty much fast tracked as well. It'll happen within 30 days.
And it's a permanent residency visa, same as the other ones?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Mike, guys, is owner of Inside Panama, one of the largest real estate and rentals people in Panama. If you ever want to contact, email me or go to our website, fill out the form, and I'll connect you guys personally and you can chat. All real estate, rentals, stuff like that. He's got a team, 6 locations, I think now. So he can help you out. So basically, those are the basic visas. Pensionable, friendly nations, person of means, and real estate investment visas. Probably 98% of people come on those. There's other visas, there's student visas, there's work visas, like if you get hired by the company, if you need more information about that, just remember, like email us, but you can just, most of you know our website, Retire in Panama Tours. We have a contact button on there and simple form to fill out to give you contact. We got more questions on the visas.
Hola. Quick one, Mike. With the visa, so it sounds like a visa by investment. You said 300,000.
That's correct.
But with the property, like within the Caribbean, for instance, sometimes the government chooses the property. You can't buy your own one, or you can buy a government-approved property. How does it work in Panama?
No, it's not like that at all. You can buy any property you want.
Okay. All right.
Someone has the title? All good.
I have a quick question. Does the investment, if you finance a home for $300,000, does that count as well, or do you have to pay it straight out in cash?
That's a really good question, but it does count, yes.
Thank you.
By the way, I just wanted to say one thing to Elizabeth and Kent. Just want to say hi. And Elizabeth, America Campeón. You saw that, right?
We're paging through everybody here, getting excited, all the familiar faces.
I have a question.
Megan, I just wanted to tell you I wasn't very happy with your Eagles on Sunday night.
I haven't been happy with them all season.
No, no. But we won the 15th star in Cali. Woo!
I just
The Eagles on purpose. The Eagles.
Yeah, I just heard someone say, I have a question. Who was that?
Yes.
That would be me.
Okay.
Yes.
Nancy.
Nancy, go for it.
Nancy, yes. I'm retired. I already have the pensioner's visa. But due to COVID, I've been quarantined. But my question is, I don't intend to work, but I am an artist. So does the pensioner's visa preclude us from selling art that we have created?
That is it's a slippery slope gray area. The law is.
Somebody's looking at my wall. That says Nancy is an action verb.
Nancy, the law is simple. If you earn money from Panamanian sources, you are working in Panama.
So that means
That's, yeah.
it's a slippery slope though. Like really, like the guy, I bought many things from different people that live here that make things out of wood and do this other stuff, and they're pensionados and they're not, it's like back in the US when you had a garage sale. Did you really include that income on your 10, 20, whatever it's called? Did you?
yeah.
No, you didn't. Okay. So it's just
So you sell it there the same way you sell it here,
exactly
at the back door.
just don't open a shop and put a sign up.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, so it has to be more like for instance, like when they do here in Boquete, the Tuesday market. There's a lot of expats that they have their talent and they create beautiful stuff. But they're just doing because they wanna keep working, they wanna keep just doing art.
Yeah.
And they sell it, but just a small items, smaller quantities. So you don't need to, I mean, that's what Rod said, the slippery gray zone. So yeah, as long as you don't make it.
Sell it in order to buy more materials. actually,
Mm-hmm.
is what most of us do.
Yeah. Where you live in Panama, Nancy?
I don't live in Panama.
Oh, okay.
I live in Tennessee,
Okay.
but I have already gone through the process to get the pensioner's visa.
Okay.
I
Okay.
did that, I think that was 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I've been back several times, but
Awesome.
not to spend an extended period of time. I just recently retired, right
Okay.
before the pandemic, actually.
I
So,
see.
Just don't forget, you got to come back once every 2 years. So
right.
Yeah.
And is that still in place,
yes,
even with the pandemic?
it is, but don't forget, there's a new law that allows you to extend that for 5 years through an attorney.
Okay.
It does cost
Well,
a $500 fee for doing it. So
yeah, I expect that most of us in the United States who are over 65 will have the vaccine by the time.
It's Cheeto and Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to be back again before July. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
yeah, okay, great. All righty,
Thank you.
get through more of these 50 questions.
Yes. Moving on, we've got Steve who would like to know if we're affiliated with any property developers.
No,
Nope.
Developers? No.
We'd
the real
probably
estate
send
in-
you over to
yeah.
Mike and tell you to
Mike is
ask
the
him.
one. Mike is the one who knows anything proper or reliable property developers.
Plenty
Mike.
of developers, plenty.
All right.
yeah.
I'll send,
Mike is the guy. Mike is the man.
I'll message my email below in the chat.
Great.
You're the man, as always.
Thanks. Love you, brother.
Likewise, buddy.
Let's see.
What
Anybody
else?
else have any questions while I look through the chat here?
So, Pipa, when you coming? Pipa and Robert, when you guys coming?
Okay, I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So the question concerns the availability of credit for gringo residents to buy a car in Panama. I've got excellent credit here, but can I get a car loan in Panama?
It's your credit in the state has no relevance here, really. There are some dealerships that you're going to be paying 12% interest or more. You have no way to prove, they're not tied into the credit score that the U.S. uses here. Panama has its own. So unless you establish credit by living here, paying bills, getting a credit card, even if it's a guaranteed credit card, paying your utility bill, stuff like that, getting credit here to buy a car is not.
16% of the vote is in, and they're gaining.
16%, Mike, yeah.
Usually it takes about 2 years to be able to apply once you're.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with a mortgage. It's not impossible for a foreigner to get a mortgage here, but it ain't easy. And it'll take you.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I might not be.
So buy older used cars. That's the key.
Did I hear you say 12% on a new car?
Sorry, 16. Between 12 and 16.
Yeah, used cars.
It's a high risk loan for them. They have no way to verify that you're going to pay them back, and especially that you're a foreigner and can leave the country at any time you want. Why would they give you money? You could just leave and park the car somewhere. It's extremely high risk for them.
Yeah.
So the conventional wisdom is to not ship your car to Panama, but unless you're prepared to pay cash for a car in Panama, I'm not sure I see much of an alternative. I've got a great car that's probably going to last many more years. Why shouldn't I ship that to Panama, use that for however many years I need until I can establish credit in Panama?
Yes, you could do that. Just you want to make sure the type of vehicle you're shipping to Panama, you're gonna be able to get service, parts, and maintenance for it.
Yeah, make sure.
Because depends of the brand of your car, that means it could be heaven or could be hell. Trust me on that one.
But if you sell your car that you already own in the States for cash, bring the cash here and buy a car. It's gonna cost you $3,000 to $4,000 to ship a car here.
Yeah, plus the paperwork and the timing. So that's why, like, unless it really makes a lot of sense, it is okay to ship the car. Otherwise, it's just more of the hassle than in spending money than it will be benefit.
Yeah, and the cost of your shipping that car may negate some of the cost that you would by selling your vehicle and just buying one in Panama.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're in, let's say if you're in Miami, you're gonna pay $2,500. You're in Seattle, you're gonna pay $4,500 to ship that car. If you're coming on the pensionado visa, yes, you can bring the car in duty free, but that also means when the car is sold down the road, somebody else owes that tax. So you're basically stuck with it until you drive it off the cliff because nobody wants it. And no one wants foreign cars here anyways, and the miles in your speedometer gives that away. So no Panamanians want to buy your car.
Yeah.
So
are the cars of the same quality actually in Panama? I noticed that in North,
they come off the same assembly lines, and you know.
I noticed that a lot of times when it comes to the European or the North American car, it tends to have more safety features. For instance, like I've noticed my truck, it has 7 airbags over here. While I noticed back in the Caribbean, for instance, and South America, it only has 2 airbags.
Yeah, we definitely have less.
Be missing.
Less regulations here.
Yeah, a lot less. So here, pretty much, you're on your own risks. You got your insurance, but the type of vehicle you're driving, as long as it requires a minimum safety procedure, you're good to go. Like no airbags are required here. Let's put it that way.
So if I want to buy a good but cheap used car, where do I go to do that? From a dealer or locals, or how do I find a seller?
Well, that one is a tricky one because here in Panama, a lot of people, especially, I mean, there is the language is Spanish. So unless you'll be able to communicate in Spanish with the seller, it'll be an easy transaction, or you know what to get it from, and also to understand. Dealerships is like anywhere. There is a brand dealership. Like if you buy from a legal, like a Toyota dealership, you know you're getting a good car. They give you guarantee and all that. There is another informal dealerships. A lot of them are really great, but like any other business, some of them it might, the car might be being in a crash. They won't tell you. It looks nice, it's all shaped up, and I'll tell you. A lot of cars might alter the kilometers. They won't tell you either. A lot of cars will have some problem. They will tell you so. So it's tricky, that one. The best way when you got here is just to get educated about the cars. If you already have the knowledge about vehicles, and us, we do provide the service, but it's also, you always get a mechanic to check the vehicle.
So for my first car, it sounds like that I should just probably buy it from a dealership. Even if that comes with a premium, I'm more likely to get a better quality car.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or you have the choice of hiring a car broker, somebody that has that experience with used cars, that's local. Actually, I'm not plugging Oscar, but he also does it too. There are many of them across Panama, and they will, for a small fee, they take it to the mechanic, they run the serial numbers, they get the title in your name, they do all the stuff that a dealership will, but you just have more options of cars because you can see the private ones, and you don't pay the 7% tax if you do a private deal. If you do a dealership deal, you pay the 7% tax.
Are cars in Panama required to have yearly emissions and safety checks to get relicensed?
Well, and what's it called, Oscar? The yearly thing?
It's called the revisado, which is revisado inspection, but all they do is to take a photo and pay $22, and that's it.
It's a money grab. So, but this
are diesel cars found a lot in Panama?
common.
Which ones?
Diesel.
Oh yeah, diesel is very common here in Panama.
What about rentals? Because when I come down, I plan on staying down there 2-3 months or so, just to check everything out. Would I be able to get a rental pretty easily for that time?
Yeah,
Yes,
I-
definitely can. Yeah, now you can get a rental by month, by week, by day.
I
Okay.
can't,
Yeah, if
see,
it's-
I can't see who's talking, but if you, whoever it is, please sit down. Your rental's gonna cost you $1,000 a month.
Yep,
It's Panama. Your credit card does not cover the insurance. It's the law here.
you need to get insurance. Yes.
$5 a day for insurance. I'm sure the mafia is involved somehow down here, or the drug cartel in the rental business. So really, it's $900 to $1,200 a month. There's a couple people on this call that I know are here that, can you attest to that? That Rod's right?
That's not terrible.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to the Big Island.
$30 a day, $35 a day.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
terrible.
We can attest to that.
Sure doable. Yeah.
It's,
Tito, tell him.
Tito and Francis.
Hey, hi.
We rented cars from folks in Coronado, from a couple folks in Coronado, and it works out to be about $35 a day, something like that. And it usually should include insurance also.
And unlimited mileage.
Unlimited mileage, and believe me, we did.
Yeah. So it was about for a week, it was about 280
Anywhere
with
from
one, and another one was
3.
300 and
Yeah.
something. So you can rent by the week, the month, but the cars that we got were basically like a Nissan Rogue.
We got a Nissan Rogue and a Kia
And a
Sportage.
Sportage. You want? I found. I think you need something with a higher clearance because
Right.
the roads aren't always that great. There's a lot of potholes, along the way. So you want something that can handle that.
Especially off the main highway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Main highway's not too bad.
like a Hummer. Something like that.
Yeah.
Or a Land Rover.
Or Land Rover, like somebody has.
There you go.
So Clarence, have you bought a car in Panama?
We're in the process of looking for one.
We're looking.
We'll be returning. We're in Highland, California right now, which is about 80 miles east of Los Angeles. But we're returning to Panama January 15th.
Yeah, 14th.
14th. And at that point, we'll be looking. We're looking for a car
Yeah,
that we can purchase.
right,
I would love to bring my BMW, but I can't.
Yeah.
right.
No
Is that
parts.
gonna be a RAV4? Maybe, perhaps.
Maybe.
Or a Honda CRV.
There you go.
One of those.
Take a
Hey.
look, drive it on down.
What?
Yeah, you're in California. It shouldn't be that much to drive through Mexico, Costa Rica, and into Boquete.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, Megan, I went,
Copa.
I'm not gonna do it either.
I would do it at the drop of a hat.
I had his insurance to pay that, so I'll let it.
All right, well, we've
we're gonna.
still
keep
got a lot of
these
questions to
questions.
get through on the chat.
Yeah, hey, Megan, I'm gonna take over 2 questions in the chat because they're related
Go for it.
to the visas, and I don't want to get them delayed because I was talking about all the visas. So one of the questions, after applying for a pensionable visa, how often are the applications denied? Your application on a pensionable visa will be denied for 2 things: that your pension doesn't qualify, or there's something on your criminal background check. Now, the type of pension you need, your pension needs to be guaranteed lifetime. So if you work for Joe's Plumbing and Heating, and they had a pension plan, there's a chance that pension is not going to be covered under the pensionable because they can't guarantee that pension is solid. You need a Social Security pension, a government pension, a teacher's, Fortune 500, all those pensions. As long as you got a clean criminal background check, you won't get denied. There's no chance of it getting denied. But if you got one of these little pensions from a small company, you need to work with a lawyer to figure out if that one's going to work for you. And the second question is, different person from Elaine. Does Panama allow people to have Panama citizenship as well as another citizenship? No, Panama does not allow dual citizenship based on their constitution. Now, that being said, many people have dual citizenship in Panama. What do? Well, here's the thing. If you go through the process after 5 years of permanent residency to get a Panama passport, you have to make a declaration. It's verbal, there's nothing signed, that you will rescind your other citizenship within 2 years. There's no follow-up procedure. There's nothing's checked on. I know dozens and dozens of people, actually the majority of people. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to tell you to do something that's not legal, but people just don't resend their other one. They just put it in the drawer and they end up having 2 passports. So the answer to the question is Panama does not recognize dual citizenship, but people end up getting it anyways.
Is there an advantage to being a citizen or not? Disadvantages versus a visa?
There's 2 differences. One, you cannot vote being a permanent resident, and 2, you cannot protest.
You cannot what?
Protest. You can't participate in government protests.
But there's no disadvantage then to become a citizen. I was born in Panama, so I could easily get it. They consider me a citizen already.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the only advantage of becoming a citizen is if you want to carry multiple passports. If you are concerned about what could happen in your own country, the plan B type of a situation.
But is there an advantage to being a citizen?
That's what I mean.
Panamanian passport, and you can vote.
You can
That's
vote.
about it.
You can actually raise your voice and anything that you want. Those type of simple things. Other than that, as a president, there is a line that you cannot cross.
Yeah, like
That's the 2 lines.
A lot of people like the multiple passport thing. Panama's got really like a good passport in Europe and stuff like that. You basically go anywhere over there. At times when the U.S. passport people can't fly to Europe, Panama people could. So, and it's more recognizable in South America than U.S. passports are. So having a second passport is never a disadvantage.
Okay.
Nope.
And
Especially
it really kind of ticks off the TSA people, which I find kind of funny. But
a quick thing for Tito. Tito, maybe you could answer me in the chat where you get your 48-hour COVID test done when you go back and forth, because every place I've checked with is 5 to 7 days. So I don't want to take time from the group. So Tito, maybe you can answer me in the chat where you get your test done. Okay, thank you.
We also have a list compiled of 15-minute to 1-hour COVID testing sites across the country. So
well, I've checked. You emailed me that, and I've checked it, and they all say 3 to 5 days or 5 to 7 days. So I mean, he's close to me. We live near each other. Yeah. I'm in Upland, Tito. So if you can answer me, that'd be great. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Tito.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome.
The man.
The Hawaii requires a 72-hour, and if you go into their website, it will show you places in California. Permanente, is that what it's called? I think there's a lot in California, and there's a lot of other places. California has a lot.
Well, you are not going to get a public health COVID test or a free COVID test with results in less than 5 days. You're going to be paying $100 to $200 for a COVID test if you want the results the same day.
I checked those 2 companies that you sent me, and they were still 3 days or 5 days. So anyway, they'll help me out here. Thank you.
Problem.
No problem.
All of the ones on our list are places that our clients have gotten results within 48 hours.
Yeah. And remember, it's the rapid antigen test, not the PCR test.
Right. And Panama accepts the antigen nasal swab.
Okay. Thank you.
So we have a really good question from Karen Cantor. When living in Panama, how does one transfer Social Security or pension funds from a U.S. bank to a Panamanian bank?
Okay, wait, handle that one.
Rob, what happened to you, Rob?
Rod, you love answering this question.
Hey, Karen, how are you? When you get down here, you go to make an appointment with the embassy, the Panama embassy, Then you register yourself with them that you're going to be living here, and they help you through the process of getting direct deposits into your Panamanian bank. That's the easiest way that most expats do. There's another way. You can use a mail forwarding service, have the check mail to like mailbox, etc. in Miami, and you'll receive it 4 days later. You deposit it here, but you got to wait 21 days for that to clear. So that's another option. Or what a lot of people do is continue receiving it in the US, and every 2-3 months send a wire from the US, online wire from the US to Panama. It takes half a day to get here, and it costs about, on both sides, around $50. And you can send as much as you want, as much as you need to live for a few months. So there's 3 ways. The direct deposit is probably the best way. You just got to go through the hassle of going to the embassy and setting it up.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Excuse me, can you use your debit card? You can't just take the money off of your debit card?
The only problem is you can only withdraw $250 cash at a time, and there's a fee for that, typically $5 on both ends. And so if you do that, every day, it can get kind of costly.
Okay.
You can use a debit card to make purchases and stuff like that. But let's say your landlord wants to pay rent, and rent's $700, so you got to come up with $700 cash.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe we should have another Visa. We should have a Visa Q&A. Maybe I should just do one of those ones. You don't have to relinquish your Canadian citizenship for a pensionado visa. A pensionado visa is residency. You can have residency as many countries as you want. It has nothing to do with citizenship. But if you decided to get your Panamanian citizenship 5 years from now, they're going to ask you to relinquish your Canadian citizenship. It's your choice whether you do that or not. That's all I was saying. Maybe I wasn't clear.
Rod, what's going on with your dogs?
That's not my dog. Can you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Wait now.
Those are your dogs?
No. This is good.
Control your pets, for the love of God, man.
Sorry. I'm telling everyone, shut up the background noise.
Life in Panama, guys. Life in Panama.
There we go.
I've got a very odd question.
Yes.
And it's dealing with visas. My daughter, I'm on SSDI, which I know is no problem down there. Everything will just transfer and keep going. But she's on SSI. So she will no longer have any money down here, down in Panama. Is there any way I can bring her into the country with no income?
Well, she won't get any permanent residency with no income. She's going to have to show some sort of income. If you're on a pensionable, you got to show the $1,000. If you're on a friendly nation, they're going to want to see that you have some sort of income.
Okay, so she's not going to have any income anymore.
Yeah. I think that's a good question for a residency lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter?
40.
Yeah.
Yep.
May I ask why it's going to be discontinued?
Because she's on SSI.
Right.
And that does not continue in out of the United States.
You don't have to tell them. Just let it keep being submitted and deposited into your American bank and transfer the money.
Yeah, well, I certainly can't advise you to do that because
You can't advise that, but I can. Yeah, you just transfer the funds in as you need it.
But
And
will
the
she
bank
be
that
able
does
to-
it easily is Chase.
Okay, but the question is, will she be able to use that as a proof of income for getting her residency in Panama? That's going to be.
No, my question is she going to be able to get a visa to come into the country even though she has no income?
Why would you need a visa? Where's she from? The US?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you don't need a visa to come here. You can come here for 180 days at a time.
So she'll be living with us, not just a visit.
Yeah, okay. But you don't need a visa to come here, but you
Okay.
can apply for a residency visa to stay. That's why you need to email me these details so I can connect you with a reputable lawyer who can answer and whether or not you can use her SSI income as proof of income to start a visa process.
Okay. Okay, I sure will. I'll do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have a question, maybe as an alternative way to get like adult children to join us in Panama. Like I have a small internet business here in the States. If I establish that in Panama, could I easily hire adult children to join me in Panama on a work visa, or is that very complicated to do all that?
That's pretty complicated. Companies hiring foreigners is difficult when you haven't hired any locals yet. But if they were part of the corporation you set up here, that's all going to cost you more than just to get a friendly nations visa. Once you start setting up corporations, hiring directly, like applying directors and trying to get people, well, they probably won't need a work visa if they're not selling anything here. So as long as they can show income, like you got to show the last 2 years of your tax return to get a pension visa. Sorry, a friendly nations visa. So
with the friendly nations visa, isn't all you need to do is make a $5,000 deposit in a bank?
It's a little more than that. You have to open a corporation. You got to get your criminal background checks. You got to show your last 2 years of your tax returns. There's a whole process.
Okay, but he would have all of that in the U.S. I'm just saying for the guy asking the question who wants to bring his son down, if his son makes a $5,000 deposit in a bank and he's got his tax returns and all that other stuff, he should be good to go, right?
Like I said, he could get a friendly nations visa too. Yeah. See, the other thing is, typically, like the work visa is more complicated. You can hire your son to work for your company here. You can probably make him a director of the company would be the easiest way. But the whole process of him getting his visa accepted, it's going to be easier just going the friendly nations visa and having him for his own. Because then he's going to have to renew every 3 years, and he won't have permanent residency for 10 years if you bring him in as a employee. So if you want to meet kids here, probably the easiest way is to get them to get their own friendly nations visa. I had a company in Panama City, and I brought in programmers, computer programmers from Venezuela, from Colombia, and stuff like that, and did all their documents. And yeah, we should have, that's why I'm saying this in hindsight. Now I would have done it rather than a friendly nation, because these guys are still here. They don't have permanent residency yet. They just had their renewable work visa over and over again. The permanent residency visas, the ones that lead to within 6 months permanent residency, pensionable, friendly nations, investors visa, and personal means visa.
Yep.
Does that kind of answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, still a good conversation to have with a lawyer here. If you want to just send me an email.
A little more details than that.
Yeah. You think so, Oscar?
What?
Okay, what do you got? What do you got for Megan?
Okay, so George mentioned that Canada has now instituted a policy that if you're flying back from a foreign country, you have to have a negative COVID test within 72 hours of flying back. There are places that you can get that PCR test with results with under 48 hours in Panama City. We've just been looking into that for some clients recently, and
Yeah.
we found a few labs in Panama City.
The cost is around $95
Mhm.
per person. And you got tingle in your back in your head.
I haven't looked, but do you guys know, is the US requiring the same thing? This is Deborah. I haven't checked.
No, they're not.
Good. Not that I plan on coming back anyway.
Not till the 20th. Hello. Another question that I have is, this is Paul. For taxes in Panama, do you have a sales tax, or what other taxes under a pensionado visa would you be responsible for?
There is sales tax on purchases, like a VAT tax, everything except food, and restaurant meals under $5. And that's it. You don't, well, sorry, property tax if you buy a home.
Yeah.
Property taxes range 0 to 120. There's none. From 120 to what 700, it's 0.5%.
And also, if you own a vehicle, you have to pay once a year tax, which is just the plate, which is very minimal.
Well, yeah.
What is the sales tax?
7%.
7%. Okay, thanks.
10% on alcohol.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
Also in the hotel industry.
So it takes that 40-cent bottle of beer to 44 cents. I just really drives me nuts.
Hey, Paul, the alcohol is pretty cheap. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Pretty
It
good
is.
too.
Pretty good too.
Very good, right?
Very, very good.
People, do you got that seco? You got that? Try that seco? Yeah, you got to try that seco. Did
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was good. The best is the Panama lager. I mean, it's the best beer we've had since we left South Africa.
Oh yeah.
Panama.
The Panama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Mike, please tell your lovely wife that she gave us a little thing of rum and it was awesome.
Ooh.
That was good rum.
You're talking about abuelo?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I can't remember. It was long gone.
Oh my.
I just want to say that if anybody on this video chat is thinking about taking the tour, I would highly recommend it. Rob and I did it in November with these guys, and not only was it so informative, it was so much fun. We saw so much, we ate so much, we laughed so much. We didn't drink too much.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But it was really worth every cent and that we spent, and we can't wait to get back there thanks to these guys. So that's my pitch for the night. You owe me now. Retire in Panama, guys. You owe us big time.
I'm gonna see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta celebrate. Gotta celebrate with you and Francis too when they're back. I'm still waiting. We're looking the time to celebrate with Deb and Bridget.
And I would say
I owe him
these guys do a wonderful tour. We felt safe. We were able to enjoy and see so much of the country. And we went in December, and it was just wonderful. I mean, after ours had been delayed, of course, because of COVID, but it was worth every cent, as you said. We got so much information and so much help in trying to decide for sure this is where we want to be, even though we had already decided. But Oscar and Megan were great with us, and everywhere we stayed, was wonderful, and the food was just awesome. Lord, did I gain weight, but you will enjoy every bit of it and get a lot of pertinent information. It's not a vacation. It's a tour that helps you to decide what you want to do, where you want to be. That's all.
Yeah. So this is Dave and Bridget. We're in Panama. We were on the very first tour that Rod, Oscar, and Rod did in 2019. And the information they gave us, the connections, we were here about a month and a half, and we've already gotten our temporary visas.
got a car. We're living right here outside Boquete in Jaramillo. And as I said earlier, with COVID, we came from Seattle and I came from public health. We're way safer here than anybody in the States is right now. They're pretty strict about everything here, masks. People don't walk around without them. So it's really great. We're here for 6 months. We're pretty sure, we're 99.9% sure this is the place for us, but we wanted to come back for longer than a 2-week vacation just to make sure that this is it. So the tour is, as everybody else has said, it's a great time. It's a lot of fun. It's going to make you tired. It's going to fill your brain. There's so much information, so much to learn, and so many things to think about, all the great areas. So if you're signed up for the tour, come. We'll see you when you get to Boquete.
Booyah. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Howard, thank you. Like, those plugs were not scripted, not planned. I'll send you guys your PayPal in the morning. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, send my check.
I'll give you extra generous gin tonic.
Yeah.
Next time you come over.
10 minutes before we get kicked off this call. What other question? I got some email questions here too. Megan, do you have something there that we haven't talked about yet?
If you've got a couple, go for it, Rod. I'm still looking through the chat here.
I saw the one about gringo prices. This is talked about in forums all the time. It's amazing. I've been here 9 years. I've never experienced gringo pricing. Gringo pricing is because of the color of your skin, you are charged more than a local. I've never experienced it. I've been here 9 years. Now, I don't know, like my gardener, my maid, they charge me the same as they charge everyone else. So I really don't, it's nothing I really see. So.
Well, I will have to say that it is not common, but it is possible.
Oh,
it depends where you surround with, and also the type of services. But
it's definitely not as common as other very touristy countries.
Yeah. Here, Panama people really care. People in Panama are very proud about just to be unique, and that just doesn't happen here. For that to happen, you gotta be really, I don't know, maybe in the city, according to some services, but here it's not that common. In other countries, especially as a tourist, you go like to Caribbean side there, maybe.
Quick question. So you just mentioned your gardener and your maid.
Yes.
We were in Ecuador, and I want to know if this is the same situation in Panama. In Ecuador, you employ these guys, and then basically they're yours to support as long as you live there. Is that a problem in Panama?
No. Like if you like full-time people, you might end up developing a relationship with them, but do you have to pay them a pension when they retire? No.
No, not a matter of retiring. It's like you can't let them go.
Oh, labor laws.
No, that's not the case here.
Labor laws are tough. They do protect the employee. You need to really have a good attorney that can give you great advice if you're hiring full-time people. You need to keep a book. You need to write infractions, have witnesses. And after 3 infractions, yes, you have every right to fire them, and they won't win it. But if you're not diligent, and both Oscar and I have had own companies here with employees, if you're not diligent in the procedure, and they take it to the labor board, they'll win.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys in February.
Okay, right on. Thank you. Okay, I got a question that wasn't asked yet tonight, so I'm going to do that one. How do I import my personal firearms to Panama when I move there? Can I bring them with me? No. You cannot. There's not a very big gun culture here to begin with. Okay, so if you got a collection of guns, you're probably giving it to kids. You can bring a handgun, long gun. Sorry, you can't bring. You can import a handgun and long guns. That's it. It has to. The process can only start after you have your permanent residency, and you're going to need a lawyer. And I highly advise a channeler. somebody to help you through the process. Otherwise, it'll be 2 to 3 years before you ever see your weapon. So you need to, if you're moving here and you do have a handgun and shotgun that you want to bring here eventually, you need to put them in storage with a family member or something, and then start the process legally. And that won't be till 6 months after you arrive here. So it can be done. It's a long process. It's an expensive process. And we do have some contacts in that field. They're not even interested to talking to you until after you have your permanent residency card. Because nothing can be done until you have that. Okay, Megan, you got something as I continue scrolling? What there's another.
Yes, I saw from Allison saying that it's been a huge issue trying to figure out who and what to believe when it comes to moving to Panama because there's so much information out there. And she's asking, is Boquete humid? I thought it was less humid. Is that correct? The answer is it depends on the time of year. Boquete can be super humid in the rainy season, less humid in the dry season. It is the tropics, so it's pretty humid throughout Panama. And it can be difficult to know what's true when you're reading things online. And everyone's going to have a different opinion.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is to make a visit to Panama, do some exploration and figure out what you like, what will work for you. Because just reading online, you're not going to know, is Boquete for me? Is Coronado for me?
Yeah.
Do I even want to move to Panama? You really need to do a visit.
You gotta feel it. You gotta come and feel it. That's what you need to do. But to get better.
Doing your research is great.
Yeah, but you gotta feel it.
But there's a lot of opinions out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that humidity question comes up all the time about Boquete. Remember this, 80% humidity at 75 degrees Fahrenheit is not the same as 80% humidity at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a totally different ballgame. It's called the humidex, right? Like with every degree of temperature increase, the humidity feels worse. So yes, Boquete has 80% humidity in the rainy season, but it's only 75 degrees, so you certainly don't feel it.
Right now, it's very dry in Boquete, in my opinion. It's very dry because we don't have the rains. We have lots of wind, so it makes it very dry. Yeah.
Hey, George,
I can see in the face.
Toads down here. But you know, you can build a cane toad trap. Google it in your yard. If you're worried about your dogs, you catch them and dispose of them properly. I worry about them too. I have 2 dogs, and I know one would lick the cane toad for sure. So, yeah. How
Got some
hard is it to bring a dog? Let's talk about dogs. It is a challenge to bring a dog, but if you follow the steps, just really go to, oh, here, I have it right here. I'll put the link in the chat. There's about 10 steps to follow in 10 days before your trip if you're going to bring your pet with you. You can do it all yourself if you want, or you can hire a professional and they'll walk you through it. But we know many people that have done it themselves. I have it for US and Canada. I'm sorry, but that's basically, I don't know the different organizations and stuff in Europe and stuff like that. So here's a link in the chat right now to how to bring your pet from US or Canada to Panama. And this is current information that people following that right now and in December. We do it all the time. We offer the service. We provide you what paperwork to fill in, walk you through all the steps, meet you at the airport. We talk to the airport doctors for you and get you all settled, make sure all your paperwork's correct, and then drive you to your final destination. So,
What else?
What else you got? Any topics we haven't?
We had a few questions about transportation options. The metro and bus system, metro system in Panama City and bus system throughout the country is very reliable, very affordable. I think somebody was asking from Boquete to Panama City, so you can get a Boquete to David bus for $1.50 it was last year, the last time I took it. And then from David Terminal to Panama City is about 8-hour bus ride for $16, $17. So that's definitely another option. There's lots of taxis around too. Uber in Panama City is one of our favorites to use. And I used it for 2 years, buses all over the country, and it always got me where I wanted to go.
Okay.
I've never used.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Okay, is that me? My feedback?
No. We had Jonathan chiming in.
Oh, I
hope that wasn't my feedback. Was it? No. Bugs. I noticed no one's spoken about scorpions, bugs. I'm worried about scorpions crawling into the bed, in the house. You know, pensioner, children. What happens when you're stung? How to avoid, etc.
Have you ever heard of somebody dying from a scorpion bite?
No, but that can be very painful, especially if you get stung 3 times in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not going to die.
But
I wouldn't die if I got punched either.
Yeah.
I don't want to get punched either, so I just don't want to be, stung.
You know, I have been in Panama. I'm not kidding. I have been in the middle of the jungle. I have been in areas where I have been hanging on the cliff, and a big spider is crawling on my hands and not bit once. I've been next to feather lions, all kinds of wildlife.
Yes.
And I'm 40, and this just happens one time in my lifetime, and by coincidence, I don't know how that happened. I get stung in my bed, but that's very, very 1 in a million. Very easy. There is products you can put on the doors. There is also to conceal the doors so they don't crawl under the doors from the outside. You can always spray with we have the companies to spray outside the house for the scorpions or spiders. But there is ways to prevent.
Sticky tape I've heard about.
Yeah, the chances for that to happen.
You feel like they're having some.
But in some areas, it's not.
The local
Yeah.
clinic. But it's not very common to have an extreme reaction to scorpion bite here.
Yeah, unless you have, you have extreme you have allergic reaction, and then
Yes.
you have to take more precautions to that.
And is it a matter of elevation? Because it sounds like with the cooler the climate, the less bugs you're going to have.
You get less some of the bugs, but you have other bugs.
Yeah.
Because
Coffee flies.
Yes, we do have coffee flies. If you have it near the coffee plantation, yes, you're gonna get those.
Okay.
They're aggressive.
I've heard. Yeah. Hotel Central Boquete was mentioning that.
I saw something on the internet where Boquete claims to have no mosquitoes. Is that correct?
No mosquitoes?
No mosquitoes.
I wish.
Yeah, we do. We don't have as much mosquitoes in a lower elevation, but we still have mosquitoes. Less annoying, less amount, but we still get those. What we don't have is nacims, or what we call chitras. That we don't have. But the mosquitoes, yeah, we still have some. We still have not terrible,
During the
but
beginning of the rainy season, the mosquitoes are a little bit worse.
yeah.
In the beginning of the dry season is when you want to look out for the scorpions. So varies depending on the time of year.
Yeah, but it's always a ways to avoid that. Always.
The mosquitoes here are tiny. I'm from Saskatchewan, Canada, where the mosquitoes are like that big. Ice cream. Here they're like Austin goes, look, that's a mosquito. It's not a mosquito. Oh, that is. So, but really, not a lot.
Yeah, it's only what sometimes in the middle of the night you feel that.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've also heard that chickens are good to have. That chickens eat.
Yeah.
Yes, chickens is a good way to have chickens, and also if you have possums, let them be. They also really good eating scorpions, snakes, ticks. So they're awesome to maintain the ecosystem.
Brilliant.
Alrighty, guys, we got to start winding down here before we get. I show we're negative 2 minutes in, so Zoom never tells me when it's going to shut off. So because I have a 4.5 Zoom, but we really appreciate everyone joining us today. Again, you can reach us, retireinpanamatours.com. There's a contact button on there. Our phone numbers are on there. With your phone, you talk to actually us, not somebody that works out of an office in the States. I know our numbers are Florida, but they're forwarded from Miami to here. So we're actually answering the phone here in Panama. So you can talk to us at any time you want. You can come on a tour. If you're coming on a tour, if you want to discuss options and what you're doing, yeah, just give us a call. We're here to work things out for you. We are in unprecedented times. I'm tired of hearing that. I want precedented times. I'm not sure what that even means, but let's get back to normal here. So I know it's going to be a while before everything is totally normal, but we're still here to show you the country. We're going to show it to you in a safe way. Oscar and Megan, closing comments?
I just am sending our website to the chat for anybody that was looking for our tour schedule, any more information on us. That's in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. And also, thank you so much. It was so awesome to see some friendly faces. There has been, they live here in town, they live here in Panama, and looking forward to some of you to be here in Panama with us.
Yay.
Right on. So,
hasta la próxima.
Hasta la próxima. We'll see you soon, guys.
Have a good
Señor.
Great to meet y'all.
All right.
Gracias. Buenas noches.